Hello, I'm sending you this email because I'd like to ask for your help. One of my friends have gone missing. We usually play Minecraft together every Thursday, but he hasn't logged on for the past 2 weeks. It could be nothing, maybe he got grounded, I don't know, but he's not the type to just disappear without saying anything. This is an email that I received a few days ago, and below the email there's a YouTube channel that's been linked, and on the channel there's 4 videos, each one for a different day of the week before Jack went missing. Now, to be honest, when I first read this email, I was just gonna ignore it. I mean, just because your friend stops logging onto your Minecraft server doesn't mean anything bad actually happened to them. But this situation is a little different. Let me explain. So, the person who sent the email, his name is Ben. His friend Jack hasn't logged on to their server for 2 weeks, when previously they played together every Thursday. Now, why Thursday, you may ask? Well, that's what makes this situation interesting. In the email, Ben tells me that Jack has 4 friends: himself, Anthony, Daniel, and Connor. And for some weird reason, Jack plays Minecraft with each of them on different days of the week. He plays with Anthony on Mondays, Daniel on Tuesdays, Connor on Wednesdays, and Ben on Thursdays. I'm not sure why he does this, it's really strange. But Ben then went on to tell me that, again, it could be nothing, but Jack has never just stopped showing up before, and none of his other friends have heard from him. So I said screw it, why not at least look into this? Even though I was pretty sure it was still no big deal. But as it turns out, I was wrong, because the truth of why Jack went missing and everything that followed is a very, very big deal. But first, in order for us to fully understand what happened to Jack, we have to watch the first video on his channel, titled Monday. It was uploaded 2 weeks ago, so these were posted right before he went missing. The video starts off with Jack in presumably what looks like his house, and as he's leaving his house, he presses tab, and we can see, just like the schedule said, that Anthony is online. But what's weird is neither of them say hi to each other or literally anything. Anyways, as Jack starts walking, he notices a sign on one of the trees. The sign says, "Beware the observer." He stares at it for a second before destroying it and then continues on walking. There's not much to learn from this beginning part. Jack kinda just walks around aimlessly, but then he stops at a weird array of dirt, and he finally says something to Anthony. "Did you place this dirt here?" "No, I saw that earlier. I don't think it was any of us that placed it." "Okay." Okay, what does that mean? If none of them placed the dirt, then who did? This seemed weird to me, but not weirder than what happened next, because Jack just stares at this weird dirt array for the next whole minute, seemingly very confused about how it got here. "Hey, have you talked to Tom? It's weird that he hasn't logged on, and he also hasn't been to school." "No." "But, like, aren't you worried? He's like your best friend." "I'm sure he's fine." But wait, who's Tom? Ben told us there's only 5 players on the server, but now we're finding out there's a secret 6th member, and what's weird is, based off what Anthony said, Tom went missing 2 weeks before Jack went missing. This seems like a very important detail to mention, so I wonder why Ben didn't say anything about it, unless maybe Ben is hiding something from us. The video then randomly cuts, and Jack is now farming wheat, and a little bit later, Anthony comes up to him and says this: "I really miss when we used to all be able to play together. I also don't like being watched." "Being watched?" "Yeah, it's weird that they watch everything we do." "Yeah, I guess." Wait, what? Someone's watching them? Who? And why are they so calm about it? This video keeps getting weirder and weirder, and at this point, I was starting to think that something might actually be going on here. Anyways, as Jack is walking past this white room, if we pause the video and zoom in, we can see what the sign says. Daily quiz room, 1 person at a time. I wasn't sure what this meant, but it turns out to be very important later on, so just remember it. Then Anthony says his final message and he logs off. "Alright, well, I'm gonna log off. We all miss you, man. School isn't the same without you." "Yeah." And then Anthony logs off and the video ends. So other than Jack being the worst conversationalist ever, there's something very important that we learned. Earlier, when Anthony was talking about Tom, he said he hasn't shown up to school. And now Anthony says school hasn't been the same without you. So what exactly does this mean? Well, from what I've gathered, everyone on this server used to go to the same school until about a month ago. That's when Jack moved away. And in the description of this video, it says on the server with Anthony, server provided by the club. So that explains how everyone knows each other. They all used to be a part of the same same club until Jack moved away. And I'm guessing the requirements for the club to pay for the server is that they answer some kind of quiz? I'm not completely sure on that yet. Anyways, I watched the video back one more time to make sure I didn't miss anything. And what I found is weird. At 3 minutes and 2 seconds, you can see in the background someone else is on the server. And it appears that they're just watching Jack. We know it's not Anthony because his skin doesn't look like that. But what's even more strange is Jack pressed tab at the start of the video, and it was only him and Anthony online. So who is this? Well, in order to find that out, we'll have to watch the next video on Jack's channel, titled Tuesday. This video starts off a little different. Jack is in his house, just sorting items. And a little bit later, Daniel logs on. But once again, they don't say hi to each other or literally anything. Yo, are we sure these guys are actually even friends? Anyways, it's only when Jack leaves his house and goes back to the weird array of dirt that is now 1 block higher that he finally talks and says this.
Did you place this dirt?
Nah, it was probably one of the teachers. The teachers? Oh, okay, so that must be who that was in the background. It was probably one of the teachers, which actually makes sense. I mean, if a school is gonna provide a server, they would want to monitor it so nothing inappropriate happens, which also explains what Anthony meant by being watched. Anyways, after Jack stares at the dirt for a while, he does something very, very weird. He goes to Daniel's house and just watches him through his window. And I'm not just talking about looking at him for a few seconds. He stares at Daniel for an entire minute, not saying a single word. The video then cuts, and Jack is now entering what appears to be Tom's house based off this sign. But what he does next is odd, because it almost looks like he's looking for something. And I'll just let you watch this next part for yourself, because it's genuinely creepy. What are you doing?
What?
Are you in Tom's house?
No.
Why are you lying? I can see your name tag in the house.
Oh.
Why are you in there? The 2 rules we agreed on was to never go in each other's houses and to never go to the Nether. After this weird conversation, Jack just slowly starts walking away from Daniel. And then, once again, the video cuts. And surprise, surprise, he's looking at the dirt again. This guy's gotta get some new hobbies. Anyways, he's interrupted by a punch from Daniel, who says this. I'm gonna do my daily quiz and then log off. Honestly, I might leave the gate program soon. It's not the same since you moved and since Tom's been gone.
No, don't leave!
And then the video ends. So other than whatever the hell this is in Tom's house, did we learn anything important? Well, yes. In fact, this video gave us the most important piece of the puzzle we need to solve this. Right at the end, Daniel tells us what the club is that they're all a part of. And it's actually not really a club at all. It's the GATE program. And for those of you who don't know what the GATE program is, let me just play this video for you.
The GATE program, gifted and talented education, accelerated learning, complex learning, advanced learning. You've been on our radar for a long time. You're finally ready. Join Cypress now. You have what it takes. You've always had what it takes. Have you been feeling out of place? Are you ready for something new? have you been dreaming of a brighter reality?
So yeah, the GATE program, otherwise known as the Gifted and Talented program, is a program that kids get put into if their brain shows advanced signs of intelligence. In fact, you yourself may have been a part of this program. They take kids out of class and have them answer some weird questions, which finally makes this whole situation make sense. The server is funded by the GATE program, and each kid on the server has to go into the white room and answer their quiz question. At least that seems to be the requirements to play. I watched this video back one more time, just like the last one, and found something interesting. In Tom's house, there's a sign with scrambled words and the number 7. A number at the end of scrambled words usually means Caesar cipher. I saw one in the last video too, but it just translated to me. So I had thought that maybe it was just a spam sign, but now there's another one with the exact same number variable. It seems like someone might be leaving some sort of code, but this sign just translated to please. So if it is some kind of hidden message, hopefully there will be another sign in the next video. And the third video is titled Wednesday. Now, this video starts off very weird, because I kid you not, Jack stares at the dirt wall, which is now once again 1 block higher, for a total of 5 minutes, not moving or saying a single thing. And it's only when Connor logs on that he finally asks the question that he asked everyone else.
Did you place this dirt?
No, did you?
No.
We then see Connor walk up to the dirt wall, but then he immediately turns around and walks back to his house, and Jack just kind of watches him. Yeah, Jack, it's getting weird at this point. Anyways, then for the first time, we get to see what's in the white room. But instead of answering the question, Jack breaks the floor, and we can see some kind of hopper tunnel system. This doesn't seem to come as a shock to Jack, so it appears he's known that this has been here. But instead of going down the tunnel, he just looks at it and then closes it back up. The video then cuts to Jack and Connor farming wheat, and we get this weird conversation between the two of them. Have you heard from Tom?
No.
Do you even care that he's missing?
Yes.
Why are you acting so weird?
I'm not.
I heard you went into Tom's house. Why are you breaking the rule that you created? Oh wait, Jack made that rule? Huh, okay, well, I'm sure he has a very sound, logical reason for breaking it.
I forgot.
Yep, nope, never mind. You forgot your own rule?
Yes.
You know, you've been acting weird recently.
Oh.
What's going on? It's almost like you're a completely different person.
I just miss Tom. He was my best friend, you know, and it's been hard moving to a new school.
Damn, okay, so he's just acting weird because he's sad and is struggling at his new school. Great, now I'm the bad guy. Sorry, Jack. Anyways, after their conversation, the video ends. Now, just like the last 2 videos, I was hoping to find another sign in the background, and I did, but this one isn't normal. You see, at the very end of the video, you can see it's right there. And we'll get into its translation in a little bit, but the more concerning part is the fact that that sign wasn't there 2 minutes ago. If we zoom in on the background when Jack's talking to Connor, it's nowhere to be seen. It's almost like the sign placed itself. Well, if we put the text into the cipher decoder, it translates to help. And if we then rearrange the order of the words and put them together from the first, second, and third video, we get help me, please. So somebody needs help, but who? Well, it's probably Tom. I mean, we found the same message in Tom's house, but the question is, why hide it? So much of this doesn't make sense. If Tom is in trouble and it's now the same trouble that Jack is in, then why doesn't he just come out and say it? Why leave behind all these codes? Unless maybe somebody on this server is responsible for what's happening to him. Maybe one of the other boys, or perhaps even one of the teachers. But there's only one video left, so let's hope it gives us the answers we need. This video starts off with Jack stalking. It's called stalking, Jack. You have a problem. You need help. As he's just watching Ben through his window. But what I found actually funny about this is Ben is the one who sent us the email and linked this channel. So he's seen Jack being weird. But from the last video, we learned that Jack's only acting like this because he's sad and he misses his friends, right? Well, I hate to be the one to say this, but Jack lied. Not just to Connor, but to us as well. And in this video, we're about to find out why Jack has really been acting weird. After about 2 minutes, Jack goes back to the dirt wall, which is now 4 blocks high. It seems it's growing day by day, but he doesn't ask Ben if he placed it like he did with everyone else. And in fact, Jack doesn't say a single thing to Ben this entire video. After staring at the dirt for a while and walking around, he stumbles upon something, a gravesite with a tombstone saying R.I.P. Tom. Then Ben logs off, and usually after someone logs off, the video ends. But not this time, because Jack then does something very, very weird. He goes and for some reason double checks that Ben isn't in his house, and then he goes and enters the white room, and we finally get to see what's down the dark hole from the last video.
Hello? Tom?
Okay, what? Why would Jack say Tom? I thought Tom was missing. Does he somehow think Tom is on the server? Regardless of that, if you were thinking that this is the most uninforming video we've gotten so far, you'd be right. I mean, literally nothing happens. Well, nothing except one important thing. Back when Jack is visiting Tom's grave, after Ben logs off, we can see that on top of Jack's house, there's a map, but it's had its image data replaced with a QR code. And if we upscale it and then scan it, we get taken to a website, and the only thing on the website is one sentence.
Whoever you guys are playing with, it isn't Jack.
I'm sorry, what? What do you mean it isn't Jack? If this isn't Jack, then who the hell have we been watching this entire time? I then went back and rewatched everything, and I figured it out. That message was right, because the person we've been watching this entire time isn't Jack. It's not any of the boys. This entire time, I've been trying to figure out why Jack and Tom went missing, to figure out what exactly happened to them, and this entire time, the person responsible has been right in front of us. Let me explain. This is a rough timeline I made of all the important events. There's about a week in between each one, and to understand what's going on, we have to focus on a specific event. It's when Jack moved away from everyone on the server, because if I'm right about this, after Jack moved away, he stopped logging on to the server. Maybe he lost access, I don't know. But since then, whoever this person is, they aren't Jack. And whoever has been making these videos, they've been pretending to be him. And I think I know why. You see, it stuck out to me the fact that Jack was the only one allowed to play on the server every single day. At first, I thought he was just like a prodigy of the gate program, so like they wanted him to do more tests than everyone else. But that's not the case at all, because Jack never actually does any of the tests. In fact, the only thing we see him do is watch the other boys, and he always waits for the other person to log off before he logs off, almost like his entire job is to watch them, almost like he's an observer, probably the observer that someone said to be aware of in the first video. So what now? What does all this leave us with? Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is Jack, the original purpose of this video, is most likely perfectly fine. In fact, he has no idea that all this is going on since he moved away. The bad news is Tom is not perfectly fine. Something happened to Tom. Something so bad he can't ask for help directly. Something so secretive the gate program had to place a spy on the server to make sure nobody found out. But what is it? I mean, we're now out of videos, so if we want answers, we'll have to look elsewhere. So I tried emailing Ben back and telling him everything I found, but weirdly enough, Ben's email account was deactivated. I'm sure that's no coincidence, but it left me with a big problem. If I couldn't talk to Ben, then my lifeline, my connection to all this, was severed, and it would mean that we can't find out what happened to Tom. But before giving up, I tried one last thing. You see, I remembered Tom's house, more specifically, the sign above his house, and how it had his gamer tag on it. So I went out on a limb, and I tried searching it up on different platforms. And what do you know? We have a YouTube channel. A channel with 2 videos on it before Tom went missing. Tom's first video starts off with him in his house doing a YouTube intro. I'll spare you the time and just skip to when Jack logs on.
Yo!
Yo, Tom, how's it going? You got on quick.
Oh, hey, yeah, I ran home from school. Sorry I didn't stick around to say bye. Nah, it's all good, bro. This is way better anyways.
I can't believe you're actually moving away. The club's gonna be so boring without you.
Wow, I mean, yeah, it was impossible for us to know because we had never actually talked to Jack before, but this video shows us that the real Jack is almost a complete opposite to whoever was pretending to be Jack. Rather than dull, boring responses, he can actually hold a conversation. Also, it's worth to note that this video takes place a week before Jack moves away. So at this point, they're all still going to the same school. It's about 2 weeks before Tom goes missing and about a month before fake Jack makes his videos. It's kinda cool. It's almost like we're going back in time. Anyways, Tom goes in to do his quiz, and for the first time, we can see how the quiz system actually works. You grab a book from the chest and then answer whatever question is on the wall. Then you put the book down the hopper and it goes, well, we're not sure yet. But we might be about to find out, because maybe on accident or pure curiosity, he breaks the floor.
What the hell?
What?
Bro, have you ever looked under the hoppers?
Huh? No? Let me see.
So it appears that neither of them knew that this existed at this point, and seeing as how this is Jack's last day before he moves, what they find down there might be the cause of everything that's happening. Either way, when Jack arrives, they both look down the dark hole, unsure if they're allowed to proceed any further. Perhaps maybe they're scared of what they might find. But after a lot of head shaking and uncertainty, they decide to take the plunge and go down.
Jack? Hello? I don't like it down here. I'm gonna wait for Jack next week to explain.
And then the video ends. I think Tom made a smart choice not exploring any further. Or at least that's what I would say if I didn't know what was about to happen. The next video is titled Something's Not Right. It starts off with Tom doing his usual YouTube intro. Unlike the fake Jack, this guy seems to have it down. Now, timeline-wise, this is a week after Jack moved away, and this video is the longest one by far at a staggering 10 minutes. But I'll save you some time and only give you the important parts. You're welcome. As Tom waits for Jack to log on, he goes and does his quiz for the week. This one is an English problem. Feel free to pause the video and see if you can solve it for yourself. Anyways, Jack soon logs on and is greeted with Tom's ecstatic welcome. However, at this point, this isn't Jack, so Tom has a sad surprise in store for him. He arrives at Jack's house and they start talking. Tom notices that the fake Jack is acting weird. Also, it's worth remembering at this point that out of everyone in the club, Tom and Jack are the closest. They've been friends ever since first grade, which makes what's about to happen even more painful. Out of anger, Tom makes the claim that Jack has moved on and found new friends, so he doesn't have the energy for Tom anymore. To which fake Jack, who is probably a gate teacher, says whatever. They continue going back and forth when Tom asks Jack if they're even friends anymore. And Jack says, I don't know. After a bit more arguing, Tom asks this.
Do you hate me?
Yes.
Then Tom says he's gonna go do his daily quiz, but we already saw him do that, so what is he really up to? Well, after a bit of walking, Tom says, I wanted to explore this with him. He's talking about the tunnel. We're finally about to see where it leads.
I guess we're doing this alone.
you doing here?
Do you know what this is?
You shouldn't be here.
What? Did you build this?
You've seen too much. It's over.
What?
So wow, that was a lot. I'm guessing whatever is through that portal, the gate teachers didn't want Tom seeing. But once again, we're left on a cliffhanger. This doesn't explain what happened to Tom. I mean, even if he got banned for going into the portal, he would still be showing up to school. So how do we find out what happened? Well, I searched every inch of this video, and I found some strange subtitles. At 7 minutes and 37 seconds, the subtitles give us this strange text. At first, I thought it was some type of code, so I ran it through a cipher decoder. But there was no possible matches for any cipher or code. The only two things that it said it might be is an Instagram link or a YouTube link. So I tried both, and luckily the YouTube one takes us to an unlisted video on Tom's channel. The title is a weird glitched text, but it looks like it says help. The video starts off with Tom logging onto the server, and once he does, we can see that he's still in the same tunnel as before. But the weird thing is, the fire particles around him lead me to believe he's now in the Nether. Tom realizes he's still down here, and then he notices the portal he tried to enter last week is now broken. He presses tab to see if Jack's online, because he says he wants to ask him if he was the one who built this. Also, he wants to know why he hates him. It seems their argument from last week has been bothering him. Tom then does his usual YouTube intro, but this time he has an announcement. He says he's moving away soon. And alright, this is good. Question finally answered, right? He moved away, so just like Jack, he stopped logging on. And just like Jack, he's probably living a happy life, right? Well, no. Not at all. In fact, if you're a fan of happy endings, I advise you to stop watching now, because what we're about to learn can be called anything but a happy ending. Tom walks around the tunnels for a bit looking for the exit. He comments on how this place is weird, and then he gives us the full story.
Anyways, yeah, I got invited to study at the GATE program facility. It's a super cool opportunity, and my parents are super excited.
Tom isn't moving away like Jack did. Instead, he was invited to attend some type of GATE school facility, and this doesn't prove necessarily that anything bad happened to him, but the fact that this video is unlisted should tell you that this opportunity isn't a good one. He then goes on to talk about Jack. He says he misses him and talks about how close they were, and he mentions how much it hurts that Jack said he hates him. Unfortunately, Tom will never know that Jack doesn't actually hate him. He'll never know that the person he spoke to that day wasn't actually Jack. He then says he's gonna leave the tunnel and to give away all his stuff on the server since he's moving away.
Wait, what? What's going on? Something's not right.
So what was that? Why is the sky red? Where is he? Well, here's what I think happened. In the last video, before Tom got kicked off the server, he successfully went through that red portal, and now he's in some kind of weird mirrored world. I don't know what connection this has to anything, but it seems that since the portal is now broken, he has no way of getting out. But at this point, I still wasn't satisfied. Sure, Tom moving away and him being trapped in this mirror world does explain why he's missing. But if he was the one who placed those signs, it would only be possible if he was still online and found a way to escape this world. So just like last time, I went through the subtitles, and I once again found some more strange text. At first, I thought it was another YouTube URL, but it wasn't. So I tried all different websites, all different codes, and nothing. I knew the story didn't end there, but I was hitting a wall. After a while, and I mean a while, of trying random things, I found out that it was a URL, but it was a URL for a Google Drive folder, and it was true. Tom left us one final message. In the folder, there was a video and 2 documents. I knew this was something bad. Tom went out of his way to hide that last video, but he took extra precautions to hide this one even better, which led me to believe what I was about to find was nothing good. And I was right. I'll start with the first document. It's labeled as classified with a lot of code scattered across the page, but it appears to be a project report for something called Project Archangel. The project is doing research on Subject 03, otherwise known as Thomas Miller, aka Tom. And here's what it says.
Testing has begun for the Archangel project. Subject 03, Thomas Miller, age 13, has started taking the injections and is responding well to them. His aptitude for gait is record-breaking. Preliminary results indicate unprecedented neurological compatibility. We hope that through this experiment, Subject 03 will learn to control radio waves through direct cognitive manipulation.
This is disgusting. They seem to be giving Tom injections for some kind of experiment to control radio waves. The next part of the document says what we already knew. It says Tom isn't mentally stable due to the argument with the fake Jack, who I thought was a teacher, but it turns out to be one of the scientists. The last part is more redacted than the Epstein files, so we'll never know what it says. And all the names of the people working on the project have been redacted as well. This is terrible. I mean, they're experimenting on a kid and getting away with it. His parents think he's just studying at some top-tier school program. Meanwhile, he's being poked and prod at, all for the sake of this Archangel project. Anyways, I'll warn you one last time. If you're a person who likes happy endings, please turn this video off, as I am sad to say, the story of Tom does not have a happy ending. The next document has far more text and no redactions. Before I start reading, I'll note that at the top, Tom's current state is non-responsive, which gives you a hint of how this story will end.
This document serves as a follow-up report on Subject 03. Unfortunately, the subject's mental state proved too scattered for long-term stabilization. Subject 03 has entered a persistent comatose state following the most recent testing phase.
So it appears that due to Tom's argument with the fake Jack and losing his best friend, the Archangel project has failed, and now Tom is in a coma.
Despite the subject's failure, the Archangel project itself shows clear signs of success. The applied procedure involved delivering controlled electropulses to the subject's synaptic network in an attempt to force the formation of a conductive path for radio wave transmission. The theoretical outcome would have allowed the subject to control electronic systems through direct interaction between neural activity and ambient radio frequencies. However, the electropulses required exceeded predicted tolerance thresholds. As a result, the subject's brain sustained catastrophic damage and is no longer capable of autonomous function. Post-analysis confirms that Subject 03's neurons did adapt, successfully allowing radio waves to pass through cerebral tissue.
So this gives us more insight to the experiment. It seems they tried shocking some of his neural pathways in his brain to allow for him to control radio waves, which essentially means interact with electronics with his brain. But it failed, and the shocks were too severe for him to handle.
Subject 03 is classified as brain dead. He is incapable of speech or voluntary movement. Despite this, the body continues to act as a passive transmission medium for radio frequencies. We have proceeded to the next operational stage. Extraction of Subject 03's bone marrow has begun and is being implanted in Subject 004 through 009. Subject 03 continues to exhibit involuntary vocal responses during extraction. Medical staff anticipate this response will diminish over time.
Tom is now brain dead. He's not able to move or speak, but the scientists didn't want to waste their experiment, so they started extracting bone marrow, which, if you don't know, is an extremely painful process. And even though Tom can't speak, he can still scream. And he did. Tom's bone marrow carries with it his DNA, and through that, they're injecting it into other subjects, hoping that they'll be able to control radio waves as Tom can, but while still being able to speak and move.
We have informed his parents of his unfortunate passing. We were able to cover it up as an accident at the expense of $3 million.
His parents are at least aware of his death, but they played it off as an accident and compensated $3 million. It's nowhere near enough for the life of their son, but GATE is a government program, so if they did try to fight it in court, I suspect they would lose.
One final note, it seems something odd has happened. We aren't sure why, but Subject 03 is somehow using radio waves in response to Learning Server 4. It's almost as if his brain is able to live inside the server, although we have made sure he's in the world in between worlds that we use to gather data. Regardless, we will continue extracting bone marrow until his body gives out.
This is terrible and terrifying. Tom is now trapped in his own body. The only thing he can do is scream as they extract bone marrow from him day after day, hour after hour, until eventually he dies. His brain is unfortunately still functional, which means he's conscious during all of this. He feels every needle and cries at every extraction. The worst part about this is Tom's happiest memories are with Jack, his best friend who he's known since forever. And now, those two are ruined by the fake Jack saying he hates him. Tom's fate is a sad one. I'm sure he's experiencing nothing but suffering, both physically and mentally. But the last part of the document said he is somehow able to use radio waves to still interact with the server, and that's how we arrive at this final video. The video starts off with Tom in the mirror world where he is now trapped. He is the one placing the dirt that we saw in Jack's videos. The video skips and glitches here and there, but we can see that this entire time, Tom has been the one building this dirt wall. The video seems to be corrupted, as it skips, lags, and glitches a lot, but we can see Tom placing the signs in the world, one at a time. I'm not sure the timeline of all this. It's almost like we're looking at a piece of paper that's been shredded and taped back together. It's like we're watching Tom's memories scattered all over the place. We can then see him begging for help in his house. It's unfortunate that the one who found this plea for help wasn't a friend. We then see probably the saddest thing of all. Tom has given up hope of anyone helping him, so he builds his own grave since he assumes nobody else will do it for him. In his mind, he might be thinking that his parents sold him off to be experimented on, that his best friend hates him, and that nobody actually cares for him. The video then gets really glitchy and corrupted, and it cuts a lot, and then it ends. But when the video is glitching, we can see this text in chat. It appears to be Tom's final message, but it makes no sense at first glance. However, if we once again use Caesar cipher and use the same number variable that Tom has been known to use, we do get something that's in English, but it makes no sense.
Nothing is real. Nothing, 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 nothing. It's all his fault. Azathoth, he did this. He did everything, 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 and nothing, everything and nothing, everything and nothing. Why? Why is the world backward? Why? 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 Backwards and forwards, forwards and backwards. He did this. Why? It's all his fault. Nothing is real. Nothing, 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 nothing.
It appears that Tom's brain has fully gone insane. He lost whatever hope he had of being saved. He's trapped in a never-ending cycle of madness and insanity, forced to endure the physical and, probably worse, mental pain, until his body eventually gives up.